Xhosa. Now for the even more exciting part, Xhosa consonants. But before getting into the consonants themselves, let's take a look at the mechanisms by which these sounds are produced. To really get the Xhosa consonant sounds and maybe have an easier time reproducing them if you are new to the language, it may help to understand the mechanisms by which these sounds are produced. Xhosa consonants are produced using 4 different airstream mechanisms. We have sounds that are produced by air from the lungs. These are pulmonic sounds, and this is by far the most common airstream mechanism for producing sounds in virtually all languages. We have sounds that are produced by air generated in the oral cavity, and these are velaric sounds. The velaric sounds specifically are the clicks. So this is quite rare in languages around the world. And Xhosa, as you well know, has quite a large number of these, 18 to be more specific. We have sounds that are produced by air that's compressed above the glottis, and these are the ejective sounds. And then lastly, we have sounds that are produced by drawing air into the vocal tract by lowering the larynx. And these sounds are the implosive or implosive sounds. These mechanisms contribute to 66 consonant phonemes that are found in the Xhosa language. And these include the 18 clicks that I've already mentioned, the velaric sounds, which are a rarity among world languages. Now for the consonants themselves. One of the most recognizable features of Xhosa is the click consonant. Xhosa has 3 main types of clicks. We have dental clicks, we have lateral clicks, and then we have the postalveolar clicks. And each of these has its own variations. In fact, to be more precise, we have dental clicks, or 2 types of dental clicks. We have the central dental and the lateral dental clicks, because both of those clicks, dental clicks, are produced by having the tongue interact with your teeth somehow. So it's the dental clicks, which is the central. We have the lateral clicks, which are the dental clicks as well. And then we have the postalveolar clicks. And as said, these have variations of their own. Now, if we look at the dental clicks, these are made with the tongue against the teeth, and the dental or central dental clicks, or more specifically, they are using the front teeth. This is the sound. So these are the dental clicks, central dental clicks. And then we have the lateral click. The lateral click is also dental in a sense, because you have a focus on the sides of the mouth, or the teeth along the sides. So you have your tongue against the inner parts of your teeth on the sides of your mouth. And an example of this one is And then lastly, we have the postalveolar click. This click is It's a popping sound, and it's made with the tongue that is placed against the roof of the mouth. So those are the basic or the plain clicks that are found in the Xhosa language. And as said, these have variations of their own. So when we look at the dental clicks, the central dental click, which is the plain version is as in cela, to ask, cela, ask. And it has all these clicks have the same variations. That is, they have the aspirated version, they have the slack voice version, they have the nasal version, they have the slack voice nasal, and then they have the glottalized nasal. So in essence, there's one plain click with 5 variations, making it 6 per each type of click. Dental, lateral, and postalveolar. Each have 6, which is what makes up the 18 clicks in total in the Xhosa language. Now, the dental clicks again, it's ta, 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 the tongue against your front teeth, ta, cela, ask. The aspirated version, cha, 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 chuba, to peel, or chuba, peel, which is an instructive verb, chuba, peel. We have the slack voice, it's cha, 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 gcoba, ugcobisa, to apply lotion to your skin, gcoba, gcobisa. The other term for that is ukuthambisa ngesixhosa, gcoba, gcobisa, cha, cha, cha. Then we have the nasal version, nca, which is a pre-nasalized version, nca, 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 ncuma, smile, ncuma, smile. The slack voice nasal, or it's the slack voice that's pre-nasalized. So it comes up as nca, nca, nca. The slack voice is da, the nasal is nca. Then the slack voice nasal is nca, 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 nca. An example is inca, inca, grass, inca. And then lastly, we have the glottalized nasal, which is as in incochoi, 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 which is a peak, like a mountain peak, for example. So this is the group of 6 dental central clicks: plain, aspirated, slack voice, nasal, slack voice nasal, and glottalized nasal. Now for the lateral clicks, which I said earlier, these are also dental or alveolar, excuse me, lateral clicks. The sound is produced by your tongue being placed, the sides of your tongue placed against the sides of your mouth, against the teeth on the sides of your mouth. These are the lateral clicks. The plain one being as in cela, cela, to tell or to report, cela. Then the aspirated version, as in cela, cela, to slaughter, cela. Then we have the slack voice version, an example is ga, which is ukuthi ga. This one is an idiophone. It's similar to the sound that your feet make when you jump and suddenly like land on the ground. Ukuthi ga. And like I said, it's an idiophone. And this Xhosa language has quite a rich inventory of idiophones or idiophonic sounds. Now for the nasal or pre-nasalized, it's nga, 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 as in nxiba, dress up, or dress or get dressed. Nxiba, nxiba. Again, nxiba is a verb, an instructive verb. So it's almost like telling someone to get dressed. So you say dress, dress up, get dressed. Nxiba, nga, nga, nga. The slack voice nasal, nga, 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 nga. Almost has a bass to it. Nga, nga. An example is ingxolo, ingxolo, which is noise. Ngxolo, a noise, ingxolo. An instructive verb version of it would be ngola, which would mean make a noise. Then we have the glottalized nasal, lastly, for this group of clicks, which is inkxaso, is an example. Inkxaso, inkxaso, inkxaso. Inkxaso being support. Ukuxhasa is to support. Inkxaso is support. And lastly, the post-alveolar clicks. These are the ones that make the popping sound. The plain one being ka, 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 kala, start, kala, start. The aspirated version, ka, 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 kela, get accustomed to something, to someone, get accustomed, kela, or get used to something. It's also a word that's used to sort of indicate disrespect, which is a similar, I think, a concept is a concept in many languages. When you're saying to someone, uyandiqhela ngoku, meaning now you are being disrespectful on account of being accustomed to me or being too familiar with me. Ukuqhela, being familiar. Then we have the slack voice version. Ga, ga, ga. This is the slack voice version. Again, the slack voice, these are the ones that almost have this bass sound to them. Ga. An example again is gi, which is again another idiophone. Gi, which is to make a sudden appearance. When someone says, wati gi, it's like you just appeared out of nowhere or you make a sudden appearance. Uti gi. And again, idiophones, these are words that depict the sensory experience with marked forms, or rather, it's the use of sound imitation to express action, to express manner or property. But idiophones are almost like words that are taken straight out of one's experience or the experience of life itself. Uguti ga was the lateral version. Uguti qi is the alveolar version. An example that is, it's an alveolar example of an idiophone that is produced by a word that is that contains the slack voice postalveolar click. And then we have the nasal version of this click. Nasal being ng, 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 ng. So it's prenasalized. You prenasalize words in a sense in writing, for example, by putting the nasals in front of them. For example, we have the m, m. These are sounds that are produced via the nasal cavity. N and m. Those are examples of nasals. So with these nasals sort of preceding the click itself, in a sense, these are prenasalized, or it's a prenasalization process for the clicks. Nga, 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 nga is an example. And the example of a word here is ngaba, discuss, ngaba. Slack voice nasal, n, as in ingqele, which is cold, ingqele, cold. An example in use would be uzawungenwa yingqele, you'll catch a cold. Kungena being to enter, so literally saying you might have cold like enter your body. Uzawungenwa yingqele, you'll catch a cold, ingqele, cold. Lastly, we have the glossalized nasal, which is nk, nk. An example, inkai, inkai. Oh my goodness. This one is Afrikaans, I suppose, bleskop. I don't know if it's a proper Afrikaans expression. It's when you have your hair completely cut on your head, and that is called inkai. So that's it for the clicks, the dental clicks, the lateral clicks, and the postalveolar clicks. We have 6 each. We have the plain, and then the plain comes in various versions of that of those sounds.